You're going to want to stay tuned to the very end of this video because I'm going to give you the one tip that's guaranteed to make sure that you not only lose the weight that you want to lose, but you're also going to maintain it. And I'll even give you another one. And you're going to improve your health. Hello everyone, welcome to Mind Blowing Health and Wellness with Violet. I make these videos because I want everyone to understand that your physical health and your mental health come together to create your health and wellness. Weight loss has been a really big topic for most adults because we don't have the time or energy to engage in the things we did as young adults and children. So we're not out dancing every night or running around in our parents' basements expending all this excess energy like we used to when we were younger. We're out there being responsible, taking care of our families, taking care of our household, taking care of our pets. We go to work every day and we just don't have the time and maybe don't even have the energy at the end of the day to run around and just expend extra energy like we used to. So when we're not at work, we tend to spend a lot of our time with our families, maybe even with our friends. But one of the things we have to keep in mind is that when we're with our family and with our friends, a lot of the time, those gatherings come together around food, especially if we're out celebrating something. So even on top of the fact that we don't expend as much energy as we used to when we were young, we tend to spend a lot of our socializing time ingesting food. And usually when we socialize while we ingest food, that means that we eat more than we normally would have. So how do we guarantee success when we're trying to manage our weight? There are 3 steps that you need to take. And the first one, if you've watched my videos, and I'm going to link that video right there, my last video spoke about this, which is looking at the word diet for what it really means. The food I consume to fuel my body. When we look at the word diet in that way, what we end up doing is understanding that I need to eat. What I'm going to eat should be tasty, but the main purpose of what I'm eating is to fuel myself. Marrying those 2 ideas, that food should be healthy and food should be tasty so that it can fuel my body, brings about this understanding that everybody is on a diet. Your diet is whatever you happen to be eating to fuel yourself. And so making sure that the diet that I'm giving myself does the fueling, the diet that I'm giving myself is delicious, the diet that I'm giving myself is repeatable. Because if it's delicious but not repeatable, so for example, if I'm eating chocolate cake, I can't do that every single day if I'm trying to manage my weight. So I need to give myself foods that I love to eat that are repeatable so that I can manage my weight at the same time. Your diet is whatever you allow yourself to eat. If you allow yourself to be on the standard American diet, the standard Canadian diet, then chances are very good that your weight will continue to increase, not even stay the same. It will continue to increase. Choose a diet that's healthier, whether it's paleo, whether it's keto, whether it's low carb. I'm not going to tell you which diet to choose. Personally, I've chosen the keto diet, but I'm not going to tell you which diet to choose, but choose a diet that's healthier than the standard American diet. Choose a diet that aims at keeping your insulin levels low. So what's the second thing that we need to do? And I just touched on the second thing, which is understand the mechanisms that help us to either maintain, gain, or lose weight. In a nutshell, if you eat carbohydrates, your body needs to process those carbohydrates because carbohydrates are toxic to the body above 5 grams in your blood system. So your body works really hard to keep your blood sugar levels at a normal range. That means that if you eat carbohydrates, the first thing your body does is address the carbohydrates. So some of those carbohydrates will be used as energy, which is normal. Some of those carbohydrates will be used to replenish your glycogen stores because you need glycogen in your muscles for fast and heavy actions. And the rest of the carbohydrates that you eat will be stored as fat because in fat storage, carbohydrates are not toxic to the body. In the blood system, very toxic. Now, it's important for us to understand what constitutes a large amount of carbohydrates, because if your body can have 5 grams of sugar in its system at any one point in time, and then I have a meal, well, if my meal consists of a slice of bread, so one slice of bread is 15 grams of carbs, the average slice, 15 grams of carbs. So right now, I've just, in one slice of bread, ingested 3 times the amount of carbohydrates that my body is willing, no, that my body is able to have safely in the system. So what happens? Again, shuttled off to energy, shuttled off to glycogen stores, shuttled off to fat. It has to happen because those 15 grams of carbohydrates cannot be released into my blood system or I will die. It's toxic. Your body is going to do whatever it needs to do to avoid death. And if that means putting on an extra layer of fat, it will do that. So if your goal is to decrease the amount of fat on your body, we need to understand this piece of information. Obviously, that means that part of the solution would be decreasing the amount of carbohydrates that you ingest. Choose the diet that works best for you. Like I said, I chose keto. Choose the diet that works best for you, but understand in the course of a day, 5 grams of carbs are allowed to be in your system at any one point in time. Now we get to the most important thing that you can do. I'm going to share this with you right now. The most important thing that you can do to maintain your weight once you've lost it, but it's also going to help you to lose the weight, and it's also going to help you to improve your actual health. And I'm going to tell you how all 3 of these things happen. Learn how to cook. Learn how to cook. I'm not going to say that I didn't know how to cook, but I'm going to use myself as the example because I did know how to cook, but I wasn't cooking. And what do you think happened? My weight went up. Why? Because processed foods are preserved with salt and sugar. Because processed foods have extremely large amounts of sugar in them. Processed foods do not hesitate to add flour, grains. Processed foods do not hesitate to add starchy vegetables. Why? Because all these things taste amazing and they want you to buy their foods. Is it healthy for us to eat those things? Absolutely not. I wasn't focused on what I was eating. I was focused on working. I was focused on raising my daughter. I was focused on spending time with family. I was focused on spending time with friends. I was not focused on what I was eating. And because of that, I ended up eating a lot of processed foods. I ended up eating out a lot. I ended up not cooking my own food and knowing exactly what was going into my food. So am I saying that you can never go out to eat? I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is when I do go out to eat now, I know the restaurant I'm going to. I've researched a little bit how they cook. I know what's on the menu. I know what I can order. I'm saying when I do go to a friend's house to eat a meal, I know in advance what they're planning to make and whether or not I can eat there or not. And if I need them to make accommodations, and I know they will, I'll ask. And if I think they will make accommodations, I'll just decline the offer. I'm more invested in feeling good than I am about what you think about what I'm eating. Learn to cook. Because when you cook for yourself, you know exactly what's going into the meal. When you cook for yourself, you know exactly how much you've made and how much you're eating. And when you cook for yourself, you're buying quality ingredients. You're not relying on a restaurant to maybe have bought the right kind of oil or maybe have bought the right kind of meat. You know what you put into your own food. Food is the building block of your body. The body that I'm going to have tomorrow and a year from now and 7 years from now, that rebuilt structure that I'm going to create over the next 7 years is based on the foods that I'm ingesting today. So if I allow myself to eat chips, if I allow myself to eat ice cream, if I allow myself to eat things that are not nutrient dense, I'm building my body on a foundation that's not strong. There are no essential carbohydrates. There are, however, essential amino acids and essential fatty acids. No essential carbohydrates. When you're choosing foods, choose nutrient-dense foods that are going to give you the building blocks you need to build that great body. To manage your weight, understand that diet is the foods you eat to build your body and to fuel your body. Understand that insulin is what causes you to store energy because it's trying to get the carbohydrates out of your system because they're toxic. And understand that the most important thing that you can do to make sure that you manage your weight, to make sure that you maintain your weight, and to make sure that you keep your health as the highest possible level that you can keep it at is to cook your own food. So learn how to cook so that you can create meals that you know are nutritious. You can create meals that you know are nutrient dense, and you can create meals that you know are delicious so that you'll want to eat them forever. and maintain this way of life forever. Because if you maintain this way of life forever, that's how you guarantee that your weight stays where you want it to stay, right? A diet is the long-term plan, the long-term meal plan that you have for your body. That's what a diet is. The long-term meal plan that you have for your body. Are you building your best body, or are you building a junk food body? I really hope you're building your best body. I want to thank you for watching Mind Blowing Health and Wellness with Violet. If this is your first time here, please consider subscribing and hit that bell so you know when that next video is coming. And if it's not your first time here, thank you, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.